Alright, so it's been about 2 weeks since the release of Battlefield now, and I want to talk a little bit about my thoughts now. I've had some decent amount of time to play the game, now the dust has settled and we can kind of, truly give it a proper review. So I'll just quickly touch on it as a whole. I think it's really good. Really enjoy the game. Like, I can't stop playing it, as soon as I finish work I'm straight on this and logging in some hours. So I really like it, but I want to break it down into multiple sections because it's not all great, alright? There is some bad things about this Battlefield. Many great things, but there is a couple of bad things. And talk about potential future changes and stuff that we could look at hopefully getting implemented from EA. So the first section I want to talk about is the maps, right? Because I think this is probably one of the poor sections of Battlefield. Normally, Battlefield drops absolute banger maps and are like lifelong favourites of any game that I've ever played. I'm looking like Striker Karkan. Like, I love that map is so good, like unbelievably good. Obviously they're not going to put it in on release for this game just because they obviously want to show their own style first about everything that they've created new. You want to play new maps, right? But for me, none of the new maps are hitting. I mean, I think out of all the ones that I've played, they all look pretty good, right? Graphics wise and layout wise, they look pretty good. They're all still relatively close quarters, which is kind of fine for me. I don't mind it that much. I know a lot of people want large-scale, massive open maps, which is, this is what Battlefield's known for, and I do enjoy those large-scale maps. However, I personally prefer, I think it's Siege of Cairo. That is probably my most favourite map on this one, and that's not a massive map. It's quite alleyway, intense, but I really liked Operation Metro, and that is, people love that map and regard that as one of the best, and yet that is probably one of the most clusterfuck maps you could ever play, right? It's just absolutely rammed full of people in a tight space, and that's what made it so good. You're just fighting constantly over that one point, basically, where the I think it's where the escalators were or something like that, if one might remember, where you go up, and yeah, it's madness. But yeah, Siege Cairo kind of has a little bit of that, all the rest just don't do it for me, especially, and I don't know if it was that bad when I first played it, like I think it was Battlefield 3, Operation Firestorm came out, from memory. That map is probably the worst map in the game. It is awful. Like, if you don't get a vehicle and you are just a foot soldier or a sniper or whatever, fair enough, you're a sniper, obviously you can sit miles away on back at rocks and try to stick some insane shots if you really want to, but if you're just running around trying to capture flags or anything like that, if you've not got a vehicle, oh god, that game is just, the map, is just so frustrating to play. Like, I do not enjoy it at all, and funnily enough, that's probably one of the large scale maps. However, that being said, even though it's large scale, it's such a small area to fight over. There's a lot of open space, not much cover. The buildings get obviously destroyed, then you've not got any cover of the buildings, and it just feels really poor for this Battlefield. Probably it's just not it. I'd preferred if they brought back, I don't know, something a little bit different. Maybe Caspian Border would have been more fitting to bring back. That was a really fun map to play. But yeah, the other maps just not doing it for me. I look forward to seeing what they're going to release. I know there's another one coming out on, I think, is it the 26th, the end of this month. I think they're dropping one that looks like there's loads of oil rigs everywhere. Looks just from the picture that it's going to be quite open. So we'll see how that plays out. Hopefully it's a little bit so you got some more cover or something to play around with. But yeah, ultimately the maps for me, they're not amazing. I'd give them like a 4 or 5 out of 10 if I had to rate it as a whole. Really looking forward to seeing what they bring out, because it can only get better for me, surely. Then we'll move on to the guns. I am not doing any of the stupid XP boosting that everyone does, where they go into lobbies and they're trying to unlock everything. I understand why people are doing it, because they just, they can't bother to try and unlock it properly or whatever, and the challenges are ridiculous, right? But I get that sense of achievement of doing it the proper way, so I will be trying to do all the challenges and doing them how you're meant to do them. That being said, the ones that I have used are available, because obviously there's a lot which are locked at higher levels. They've all felt pretty good. Some are a little weak. The ARs still feel really unbalanced to me in terms that they need a buff. To just, like, for me, the meta is either a carbine, which I've used in this video. It's the first time I've really used the M4A1, and like people have been mentioning, it absolutely shreds that gun, or the SMGs. Like, I've been using the MP5 quite a lot, and that thing is insanely good. I suppose it helps that a lot of the maps, like I say, are quite close quarters, so AR's kind of getting outgunned a little bit. But even at long range, because of the stupid bloom thing they've got on the guns, I don't agree with that. I don't think it should be a thing in the game. I know they turned it down a little bit, but it still feels pretty bad. And I'd prefer it if they just made it so that the recoil was a lot harder to control or something like that and get rid of the bloom. I don't like that there's a random effect there that stops me from just beaming someone. Like in the beta, it felt really good. I thought the ARs didn't feel like they felt too strong or anything like that. And then they went and just changed it. So yeah, I don't understand what their thoughts were behind that. As for the other guns, I think everything else feels pretty good. The snipers feel quite good. Bit of a shame that there's only, I think, 3 to choose from. One of them's locked behind, obviously, a big challenge. I think there is a 4th coming out with the DLC. I say DLC, well, you know, the maps and everything that drops at the end of this month. Hopefully that's not locked behind some absolutely mental challenge. Hopefully we can get that a little bit easier. But yeah, overall, I like most of the guns. Like I said, if you go to the bloom, I think everything would be pretty relatively, you know, balanced. I suppose you could turn down the SMGs a little bit, but, you know, they've got to be good at close range. Just maybe limit that damage at range, because you can seem to beam people quite a bit with them from quite far away. So, yeah, wouldn't mind them turning that down just a little bit. All right, moving on to the vehicles. I've played with almost all of them now. I'm still not amazing in the jets. I used to play the jets a lot back on Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, but that was on controller. I'm now trying to get used to it with keyboard and mouse, and it's obviously a little bit difficult if you've not done it before. That being said, I found a really good server that I'm trying to make a video on, where you can get into any vehicle that you want to. There's just like 4 bots in the game. You didn't shoot any of them or anything like that, but you can just get into all the vehicles. They're all spawned there in this like big open field. You can fly around and try and get used to it. It's really good, like useful server just to try and get used to how to fly things. Like I got used to flying a chopper on that pretty quickly, and you know that's really fun to play with. I think, you know, it's a shame that there's probably only, you know, there's only obviously the main battle tank and then the IFV or whatever it is to choose from in terms of ground vehicles. I'd like to see them bring back, I think it was a Battlefield 4, they brought out the heavy tank or something like that, the tank destroyer I think it was called. It'd be cool if they fetch something like that in again, and maybe just spruced it up a little bit with some extra vehicles. But I think most of the maps that I've played so far, there's been a nice fair share of vehicles available, and I'd say the spawn times are okay. That being said, I played Conquest on Manhattan the other day, and the attack chopper was just continuously there, which was annoying. And I'm aware of the glitch with the IFE, with the where you track something, you lock it, and then fire the missile, and it destroys it even when you deploy flares. That's chaos. That's unbelievably broken. So yeah, hopefully they patch that soon as well. But also, yeah, you know, I know Battlefield is large scale and vehicles there. I don't particularly like being in the vehicles too much, but the ones that I have taken, you know, driven and flown, they've all been pretty fun, and I've got no real complaints about them or think they need buffing or anything like that. I think they're all in a pretty decent spot. So I touched on it at the start, but how the game feels, I think it feels really smooth. Like, I know a lot of people were worried about the movement, if it'd feel too slow after the beta. I mean, I thought it was, you know, a bit fast in the beta, to be fair. You know, I played Apex before this, which is an extremely fast-paced game. It was nice to come to a slower-paced game, Battlefield, and in the beta it felt still a little bit too quick-paced. I think they've got that balance pretty much right now. I don't see many people complaining about how it plays out. You know, you don't feel too slow or anything like that. If you want to move around the map quicker, whip out your knife and you can run around and just make sure you get your gun out as quick as you can. Yeah, I've got no complaints to how the game feels. I think it feels really good. There's still that weird clunkiness where sometimes you hit an object and you just go floating into the sky and then slowly come down. That is so weird, and it's like I don't know, like when you run into certain objects or jump on certain objects, you kind of like bounce off them like a trampoline. It's so weird. Hopefully they get that fixed, because that can be annoying when you're trying to just hop over something to beam someone, and then you go flying into the air. And that's so crazy. And they also need to fix out some of the bugs, which they will do. I know the main one at the minute is that stupid sledgehammer one, where people are sledgehammering the UAV and then get into places where you wouldn't normally be able to get to, or it'd be very hard to get to without, you know, constantly going back to back with ladders. At the minute on Breakthrough, it's absolutely unbearable because everybody is sat just on top of where the B flag is at the minute, where on this map that I'm playing. Like, it's just, Yeah, insanely bad, and they need to fix that sharpish, in my opinion. Just because it's become so annoying. There's always going to be people which exploit, find exploits and try and do them, and it will take a while for them to fix them. Get them all sorted. There will probably be another one after they fix the UAV one, but as sooner they do it, the better, just because it's just making some game modes unplayable, completely unplayable. And that kind of moves on nicely into what needs changing or adding, and I think we've covered a lot already in this video, and I'll just kind of bring them points up again, but I'd like to see just a few better maps. I'd like to see bringing the older maps out, because even if you play old maps on like Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4, those games are so long ago now that you could easily, play them again and they feel like new. You won't get bored of them just because in a new engine and stuff like that, it feels so good. I'd also like them to see maybe like a Battlefield 1 map out or something, because there were some really good maps on there. See how they play in that modern kind of setting. That'd be really cool. And yeah, it'd be great to see maybe something like Wake Island make a reappearance. That's a map that they used to bring out all the time, but they kind of stopped bringing it out after. I don't know if they bring a variation out in Battlefield 5, I can't remember, but it's said to be like the last one was like in Battlefield 3 maybe, or Battlefield 4 they fetched out a version of it. But yeah, I'd like to see that come back. I'd like to see them just turn them weapons a little bit, like we mentioned, Mech ARs a bit more viable in fights, that you're not just running a carbine all the time. I'd also personally like to see a rework on the support class. I mentioned this after my beta test. I really think they need to split the ammo and heals bag out and the defibs away. So they need to bring Assault back to just being the medic, where you have the defibs and the medical crate. Have them with the Assault class, and then support class, just chuck ammo on them, because at the minute, for me, the support class is just the most powerful class that you can pick. You've got basically unlimited ammo. With the open weapon system as well, you can just run any weapon you want, and there's no reason why you wouldn't just chuck every weapon that you're trying to level up into the support class and do it that way, because you can just keep giving yourself ammo, so you can just keep spraying as much as you want. I mean, that's what I'm doing with the M4A1 here, is I'm just laying down as many bullets as possible. I don't care about my accuracy because I've got unlimited ammo. So yeah, I'd like them to split that up, maybe just add something else to, if they're not going to do the split between changing Assault back to medic, then I'd change that stim as well, because I think that's a bit pointless on the Assault class. I don't know what I'd bring in, but I wouldn't use the stim. It just seems a bit weak for me. And then finally, I just want to touch upon what will be coming at the end of this month, which is the Battle Royale. And I'm a big fan of Battle Royales. I played PUBG, loved it, played Apex an absolute ton, and absolutely loved that. But for me, I feel like the Battle Royale genre is burning out a little bit now. I know for me, it's just something that you watch a streamer play now. It's not something you probably play that much of, or I don't anyway, personally. They've been out a while, we've had that genre a while. It's nice just to play a multiplayer game again. I don't think Battle Royales are needed now. I don't think that's the flavour of the month anymore. I think we've passed Battle Royales personally. I mean, it could come out and it could be brilliant. I mean, I'll probably play it, I'll probably try it, and if I enjoy it, and Battlefield 5 Firestorm was actually really good. It's just, obviously the looting system let that down a lot. But, for me, Battlefield is just a multiplayer game. It's not really like a large-scale multiplayer conquest game. It's not a Battle Royale game. But, I'm not, people want to play it, they can play it. It's just, like I mentioned, Battle Royales now, for me, they're going a bit quiet in terms of people wanting to play them. I think looter, like Escape from Tarkov kind of games are the way forward at the minute. Again, Battlefield tried that with 2042, it was horrifically bad. But yeah, interested to see what they do with Firestorm. Like I say, I think it'll probably end up being pretty good, but it's not something that I'm personally looking forward to, or what I think any of the Battlefield community really asked for. If they start prioritising the Battle Royale and microtransactions within that Battle Royale over the actual gameplay of multiplayer, and bringing in maps and bringing in weapons all for just multiplayer purposes, if they shift their attention fully to Battle Royale, I'll be very disappointed, and it could potentially see this game suffer quite a bit. So I'm hoping they don't do that. But yeah, let's see what happens. But overall, really happy with the game. As much as I've complained about a few things here, I'm absolutely loving it. I think it's great. I can't wait to see more maps coming in and stuff. It's just going to be so good. But yeah, hope you guys are enjoying it too. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.